We will never have to. That's enough. Right now, yes. Strong bucket. No,
So let's start with our prayers. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya avirāvirmayedhi. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Parthaya pratibodhitam bhagavata narayणेन स्वयं vyasena grathitam purana munina मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्. May we be protected, may we be nourished, may we strive with energy and vigor. May our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om, peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment and not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not death. Let the self-manifest Atman grow in me. Om, peace, peace, peace. Om, O Bhagavad Gita, with which Partha was enlightened by the Lord Narayana himself, and which was incorporated in the Mahabharata by the ancient age Vyasa, the Blessed Mother, the destroyer of rebirth, showering down the nectar of Advaita, and consisting of 18 chapters upon thee, O Bhagavad Gita, O loving Mother, I meditate. We'll also chant the name of Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Jai Ramakrishna, 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 Jai Jai Ramakrishna. Jai Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Jai Ramakrishna. We are missing reading of the complete works of Swami Vivekananda. That's a great help. But since David is not here, so we'll start directly. We are studying Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are in chapter 8, 8th chapter, and we have completed up to 22nd shloka. Just a quick recapitulation, because without that there is no reference and where to start. So from 15th to 22nd of this 22nd shloka, what is the main theme? Main theme of this discussion. The main theme is there is an abode which is infinite. And there is another which we say finite. We can experience like we are limited. We feel all the time limited. So this space is limited, but outside it, this room is unlimited space. So wherever we see, either it is finite or infinite. So similarly, whatever is Desha Kala Parichinna. That means it is limited by time, space, and condition. It has end, and which is not limited by Desha Kala and Nimitta, time, space, and condition. That is unlimited. So there is no end of it. So here we find just a quick what he indicated. He indicated that who he attains me, my supreme being, then he did not return in this world. And he should not suffer all the afflictions of this world. But other than me, whatever you say, even up to the abode of Brahma, huge number, those are limited. Therefore, even if it is billions and trillions of years, one has to return. A Brahma Bhuvana Lokat, Lokaha Punaravartino Arjuna, Mamupetya Punarjanma, Mamupetya Tukonte Punarjanma Navidyate. So they do not have rebirth. So it may be thousands and thousands years or millions and billions of years, but they come from that state of abhyakta, which is unmanifested. And then they return to that abhyakta. But other than this abhyakta, there is another abhyakta, which is my abode. Because that also cannot be expressed. That are not it cannot be manifested. Parah tasmat tu bhavanya abhyakto abhyakta sanatana. Yahasa sarveshu bhuteshu natsatsu na vinashyati. So all other things may get destroyed, but those who attain me will not be destroyed. So that is my supreme abode. So here we find, say we have three kinds of people. One is Echa Mudhatamaloki, those who are totally Mudha, completely not mindful of this supreme abode. And those who have reached it. So Kleshati Antarito Jana, only those who are in between, they suffer. So one is those who have attained. So for them, there is no action left. And what they say? They say, those who know Atmanam Chet Vijaniyat, I am Asmiti Purusha, I am this Purusha, I am complete, I am full, I have realized the self. Kimichan Kasya Kamaya, Shariram Anusanjarit. Then what is the purpose of this life? Why should I suffer embodying myself in this? So such a person, this is not. So this, what is being said to the others. Others means those who are in between these two situations, in between these two situations. And this is according to, and it is appropriate for the question that posed by Arjuna, that what should we remember at the time of death? That means those who have not realized, what should they do at the time of death? So Bhagavan suggested that, only if you remember, if you can remember me, that is enough. And what is the way? Bhaktya labhyastananya. See, also he said how to do it. Total dedication, total submission to me. And therefore, you have no escape. You are to do your day-to-day activities, day-to-day duties. And Arjuna is facing, such a great demand on the battlefield. He cannot be callous. He cannot be unmindful of the enemy. Then he'll be killed. We don't face such a situation, though we have little battlefield of our own. Every day we fight that battle. But the demand on Arjuna was great. And therefore, it is easier for us to remember God. But still we fail. And we cannot remember God until or unless we have that tendency, that samskara, the practice. It is not that at the time of death we'll remember God. Like a parrot, we may recite Rama, Rama, Rama. But at that, any threat that comes to us, immediately we would squawk. So that is why Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Mam Anusmara Yuddhacha. Bhagavan said all the time, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu. So that means what? That means whatever we are doing, we have to translate that job into worship. And there comes Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda, who told how that can be done. Only we have to change our attitude. We think that we are working in the world. Just we have to think that I am worshipping God. Even say when the enemy, you are facing enemy, you have to answer the call of that moment in right earnest. So we can transform our day-to-day activities into worship. Remembering God, we have to fight it on. Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu. Not that there should be a little space. It's like, okay, let me have a holiday for breathing. Then this body will not last. We should breathe continuously. It's not that we have some break in between. So, Purushaha sa paraha partha bhaktya labhyastananvaya yasya antasthani bhutani yena sarvamidam tatam. So Bhagavan said, He's all pervading, He's here, everywhere. Just imagine, say all these forms are His forms. Yomam pashyati sarvatram, sarvam cha mai pashyati. He who sees me everywhere. And in everything He sees me. I do not destroy Him, neither He destroys me. Here, destruction means we are not cut off from Him. So only thing that we have to change our attitude, attitudinal correction. What is that? We have now attitude that I am interacting with the world. We have to change this attitude that we are interacting with divine. Then there should not be any break. So whatever situation it may be, we may fight, say, physical problems, maybe health issues, maybe educational or say work issues. But all those fields are nothing else but our little battle. And thinking that I'm fighting my own battle, but thinking that everything is God Himself. So this way we can have an bhaktya labhyastananya. So we should be anchored within ourselves. At the same time, we have to fight it all. Now come a section which is very difficult to understand because some words are used which is very difficult to interpret. But anyway, Sri Ramakrishna is in our help, for our help. So we'll take his example that will solve, I think. But before that, we go to the shloka 23rd. Yatra kale tvanavrittim avrittim chaiva yoginaha prayataha yanti tam kalam bakshami bhardash. Now let me clarify. I said there are three kinds of people. One is completely ignorant, and those who have achieved the highest goal. Those who have not achieved, but still they are not fools, they are not completely ignorant. They are the people. Now this kind of people also have roughly two kinds of people. One is who can say who are more work oriented. If you tell them, say like in Sydney, has to conduct a meditation session. So it was told, somebody told a lady, so now there is meditation session, would you like to go? She said, I can make rotis, but don't ask me to go for meditation. So this is our nature. It's not to blame her, or this not to find faults with others. But some people are work oriented. We say ritualists. Our parlance, ritualists. And those are meditating in nature. They have upasana. So upasana, and those who are karmis ritualists, they believe in karma kanda and upasana kanda. And jnana kanda means they are totally beyond upasana even. They have only Shruti, Yukti, Anubhuti, and Shravana, Manana, and Nidhyasana. Hearing, cogitating, and also contemplating on the truth. So upasana, now two ways are there. One is upasana, upasakas, and the second one is karmi. Now here this is being said for these two. It is not being said for those who have achieved, because for them there is no coming and going. Ihaiva, they realized here itself. So they need not go here and there. For them, everything is that supreme being. Yacchaginjit jagat sarvam drishyate shriyate apiva. So whatever we hear and whatever we see, everything is antar bahishchitat sarvam vyapya narayanam sthita. So everything is established in Narayana, and everything is Narayana for them. So they need not go here and there. They realized here itself. Brahmavit Brahmaiva bhavati. For them there is no coming, there is no going. Now for those who have not realized, for them as if they go and they come. So one among them has got krama mukti. Krama mukti means gradual salvation or gradual freedom. Another, they come again and again. They return to this world, again go back, again return. So here, this is being told for these two only. Not for Gyanis, not the Moodhatamalu. Those who are completely ignorant about this. So now let us go to the shloka. Yatra kale tvanavrittim avrittim chaiva yoginaha prayataha yanti tam kalam bakshami bhardash. Now here kala means time. But here it is a special meaning. Here kala means marga. This is very important. Otherwise, we will miss that the meaning. Yatra kale, in what time? Tvanavrittim. O Bhartarshava, when? I'll read the running translation first. Then. Now I shall tell thee, O bull of the Bharatas, of the time, that means path also in bracket you can see there. Traveling in which the yogis return, and again of that taking which they do not return. So two things are there, they go and don't return. That means Karma Mukti, so they go to Brahma Loka, and in Brahma Loka, because of long association, then the knowledge dawns onto him and he attains the highest. There is no return for him also. Though he is a upasaka, he is a meditator, but he does not return again. But those who are karmis, ritualists, they like to do, they like to do something, otherwise it's meaningless. They return again and again. So now I shall tell thee, O bull of Bharatas, of the time, that means path, margam, traveling in which the yogis return. So yogis mean yatana shilas, those who are trying, because everybody is trying. Ultimately, we are to be one with God. So everybody is trying. Nobody can stop this. So yogis return, and again of that taking which they do not return. So one is upasakas. They have kramamukti, that means gradual freedom. Another, they come and return. So now there are two paths. This one is called Devayana, and the second one is called Pitriyana. And this yana will be said later on 26th. One is called Shukla Gati, bright path, and Krishna Gati, that means dark path. Or Devayana, that means path of divine, and Devayana and Pitriyana, path of mains, ancestors, path of ancestors. So this is two gatis. So now we can have this shloka now. So one is, O Bhartarshava, yatra kala, in which path? Prayata, the person who is traveling. So two kinds of travelers, two kinds of path, two kinds of destination. What are the destination? One attains the highest, though it is gradual. One returns. So two types of travelers, two types of destinations also. Therefore, there should be two paths. So, yatra kale, in which time or path, prayata, the traveling, yoginaha, anavrittim. Yogis, those who are yatanashila, those who are trying. Those who don't try, we are not talking about them. We are talking about those who try. So yogi, here, there are few connotations where one is realized and one is trying. Both are yogis. Yogi traveling in which non-return, by avrittim and return. So one attains the goal. So one kind of traveler. Another kind of travelers, they are not interested to end in that. They want to come back. So they return. Now, what are these two paths? Let us see that. We'll take two shlokas together. Agni Jyotihi Aha Shuklaha Sanmasha Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Vido Jana. And second one is Dhumo Ratris Tatha Krishnaha Sanmasha Dakshinayanam Tatra Chandramasam Jyotir Yogi Prapya Nivartate. So two kinds of travelers, two paths, and two destinations. Two kinds of travelers. One is upasakas, meditators, or they are worshipping God in a personal, believing in a personal God. Saguna Ishwara. Personal God means Saguna Ishwara with attributes. God has infinite number of Kalyana Guna, Ananta Kalyana Guna Sampanna. So he has auspicious qualities. It is good. There is nothing to discard for nothing to discard in the whole this path. We don't discard it. Only we see this is one kind of thing, this is another kind. That's natural, and it is not to discard anybody. Only thing, one path has some limitations, and another path may not have that limitation. Even we don't discard the devils also. Shishupal or say Ravana or Kamsa, they were as good as devotees as we are. Only they worshipped God in enemy form. God is their enemy, so that way they worshipped God. So this is very important. You see, we don't discard anyone. They are also, Ravana was great Pandit. And not only Pandit, he was knower of Vedas. He was Brahmin. But he had some evil tendencies. And that also, actually, God, say, Saguneshwara, has had two gods, Jaya and Vijaya. And one Rishi wanted to enter, but they prevented that Rishi. Bilgu, I think. And then that Rishi cursed them that you dare to stop me, you don't know who am I. So he had that power. So he cursed that you have to born in the living world, Martya Loka, the abode of death. You have to be born there. So Rishi, after cursing, he went away. Then they approached God. God, what to do? So God is kind enough. He said, okay, but there are two options. You have to born in the world of death. But if you born as my worshipper, then you need 7 births. But if you born as my enemy, then only 3 births. Now you choose. So they chose that the quicker one, because they were ultimately devotees of God. So even Ravana, even Kamsa, they and Hiranyakashipu, these are 3 incarnations of the Jaya and Vijaya, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, etc. like that. So what is the point? Point is we don't discard even evil-minded people. They are also worshipping God. Even, see, I'll tell you, this Taliban or whatever, they are also devotees of God. They would every word they'll say, Inshallah, by the will of God. So apparently they are devils. Of course, we are not supporting them. Then people will remark, what are you doing, Swami? What is the point? Point here, this is a greater manifestation of divine. All aspects are required. If I ask you to write a story, you will have to find a villain. Otherwise, you cannot proceed on your story. There must be some miscreant and do something wrong, and then some confusion, and then some fight. Then only the story is very interesting. You cannot do without that. That's why even the movies, they have villains, and villains are as good as the hero. Only the heroes excel a little more. And that is why if the villain is a dullard, then there is no glory to heroes. So they must be equally great. If we say what Star Wars, etc., their enemy is very great. So what is the point? Point is, in this world of duality, our story cannot go without a villain. And villain is also manifestation of God. What is the point? The point is everything, whatever we see, is manifestation of God. If you ask a painter to paint, but don't use black or any other dark colors, he or she cannot paint, because that is a must. So in this world, everything has got its meaning. So we don't discard, that's the point. We don't discard anyone. All are trying to reach, that's why all are yogis. So one kind of yogi goes and gradually they get freedom. Second kind of yogis, they are not interested in total freedom. See, what is the fun? Let us have some joy, like interacting with this world. So they come and go. So here now, again, let me remind you, two kinds of travelers, two kinds of the destination, and two kinds of path, naturally. So one is Agni Jyotiraha Shuklaha Sanmasha Uttarayana. Fire, flame, daytime, the bright fortnight, that means, like when moon gradually from first day of the bright fortnight and to the 15th day or 14 and a half, whatever. And then comes the dark period. So like that. So what is called Agni Jyotiraha Shuklaha Sanmasha Uttarayana. So fire, flame, daytime, bright fortnight, the 6 months, that means when sun is on the say like in summer, sun is to north of equator, and in winter it is south of equator. So that's Shanmasha, 6 months. So it's called Uttarayana and Dakshinayana. Uttar means northward, and Dakshin means southward. So Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Vidujana. Those who pass away on this time when fire and when light, so these are presiding deities, our Bhashyakar, etc. Those who have interpreted this, they think that it is that presiding deity. Presiding deity means what? Like day, now it is day. Sun is presiding deity. Sun guides us. Apparently we are not aware of it. But because of sun, we can see each other. We are interested to do something. So sun, though it is not directly, he is not directly involved, as it were, but he guides everything. Similarly, some people work in night, thieves, they cannot do in daytime. So then they'll be caught. For them also there is some insight. So that's the guiding force. So like that you can understand. Agni Jyotiraha Shuklaha Sanmasha Uttarayanam, fire, flame, daytime, the bright fortnight, the 6 months of the northern passes of the sun. Taking this path, the followers, the knowers of Brahman go to Brahman. So knowers here means those who are worshipping the highest reality. They are not knower. Then if they are knower, then there is no for coming and going. So here we are to understand this way that Actually, they are traveling. Traveling means they are also trying to attain something. That means they have not attained. So Brahma Vidojana. But they are also experts in their field. So those who are striving, say mathematics, one is striving, doing PhD or postdoctoral PhD, doctoral thesis. So they are also, but they have not attained the culmination yet. But we also say, hello, doctor, those who are even writing thesis, they have not attained their degree, but we say, hello, doctor. Or a doctor who is studying medicine, we start telling them doctor. Though they have not achieved. Similarly, we can call them Brahmavid. So, Gachanti Brahma, but here Brahma Loka. Why? If they attain Brahman, then there is no coming and going. So, naturally, here we have to understand Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma means Brahma Loka. Brahma Vidojana, those who are expert in their own field of Brahman. So they are not ultimate, they have not attained the ultimate reality. So this is one kind of traveler, one kind of destination. And the path is Shukla Gati. Now Krishna Gati, what is that? Dhumo Ratri. So one is Agni, fire. The opposite is smoke. Dhuma Ratri. And one, it is Aha. Aha means daytime. Ratri means nighttime. Then Tatha Krishna. So Shukla and Krishna. Shukla. So Krishna means they are not this Sri Krishna. Because he was also, his complexion was black. That's why Krishna name was given. But Krishna here is black. So Dhumaha, smoke, Ratri, nighttime. Also Krishna, the Krishna Paksha here. So dark fortnight, Krishna Paksha. So 15 days of dark fortnight. Sanmasha, 6 months, and Dakshinayana. Dakshina when sun is in the southern hemisphere. Though sun does not move, no, sun also moves. That also we cannot say sun does not move. But in comparison to us, we move northward, so looks like sun is in south hemisphere. So anyway, these are relative terms. So smoke, nighttime, the dark fortnight, the 6 months of the southern passes of the sun. Taking this path, the yogi attaining the lunar light returns. So lunar here means that Chandra, Chandraloka. So we have conception that 7 lokas. Now what is loka? You know location? Lokyate anena iti lokam. So phalam. So whatever is being, we can indicate that is loka. So we can say location. It is the same route. From same route, location also has come, loka also has come. So we have 7 lokas. Bhur, Bhuva, Swa, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Sati. After Satya Loka means Brahma Loka, one attains that the divine stature. So he attains the highest. But other one, there are Tala, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Patala, etc. 7. And they return. So here, Chandraloka. Chandraloka is like abode of means, abode of ancestors. So they return. Just you can imagine whatever it is. Now these are 2 paths. How can we understand like in the light of Sri Ramakrishna? Sri Ramakrishna, he tried many ways to attain God. And he certified all paths are good, equally effective. But one is from front door. You can enter through front door. And then another path is for janitors. They don't come from front door. So it depends on the person, what one likes to use the path, the front door or back door. So some paths are there. Ramakrishna validated them also. It's okay, that's also a path. But that path is for janitors. It's not for gentlemen. So be aware. So here, two paths are given, two destination and two kinds of people. So one is fire, flame, daytime. Now the argumentation started. What happens if a person dies in the Uttarayana, but in dark fortnight or in night time? What will happen? So ultimately, that it's a long discussion. So ultimately, what is the decision? The decision, they said, everything depends on the person, what he likes, what he wants to attain. It is not that if a Nwara Brahman dies in dark fortnight or Dakshinayana, he'll return. But it depends on the quality of that person, what he attained, what samskara he's got. It's not what I'm not talking about the apparent qualities. In his deep recesses, what he really is. So mrittoho dakshinayane api mriyamano vidwan prapnoti eva vidyaphalam prapnati eva vidyaphalam. So if he has tried his best sincerely, he attains that vidyaphalam. So it is not, ultimately it is not the time, it is the attitude, the path. What a person has chosen for himself. Though apparently it looks like it is Kala, but it's the path chosen by him. That is why, and this is a polemic discussion, so better not to enter into that. But the decision is that it totally depends on the person, what he chooses and how he lives his life. So that is important. So again, if someone wants to return, then the rituals, whatever is ordained in the scriptures, one can go through. That's fine, not a problem. Now comes that definition. Shukle Krishne gati hete jagatah shashvate mate ekaya yatyana vrittim anyaya vartate punaha. So truly are these bright and dark paths. So paths, Shukla Gati and Krishna Gati. Shukla Gati means bright path, front side, entrance, main entrance, and back door entry or entry for janitors. So here it's like janitors not to discard anyone, just an expression. That's why here it is very diplomatic. Shukla Gati, Krishna. That's better. Jagataha Shashwati Mati. Of course, what Sri Ramakrishna said, from that standpoint, the path of janitor is appropriate. But it is not to discard what he indicated. So one is Devayana, Pitriyana, or Shuklagati, Krishnagati, right? So Jagataha Shashwati Mati. So truly are these bright and dark paths of the world considered eternal. One leads to non-return. So one attains Krama Mukti and another returns. So we go to the next. Yeah, please go ahead.
I'm confused why they use the word eternal there. It doesn't eternal.
Eternal is long time.
Relatively
long time. Say billions and trillions of years. like we have already discussed about it, that Sahasra Yuga Paryantad Aharyat Brahmano Vidyu. So thousands of this Chatur Yuga, then the span of a yuga is also great. And 4 such yugas and such 1000 yugas for his day, another 1000 years, that's Chatur Yuga, for his night. So 2000 cycles of yugas. So that's a huge number. We have indicated what is that. Say maybe zillions or Google of time. But still, from our standpoint, that's huge number. That's why eternal. I see, otherwise we cannot come to conclusion. So even if it is long, say celestial number, trillions and billions or whatever, you can say zillions or Google number, but still it is limited. That's why we have indicated in the beginning. One is limited, even if it is huge in number. Another is not limited, eternal, Shashwata. So ever present. So that's why that he explained it up to shloka number 22nd. Purushaha sa paraha partha bhaktya labhyastananya yasyantasthani bhutani yena sarvamidam tata. Just imagine, this earth is also huge. Nobody can see this earth completely. And there are so many spheres, so many stratas. Like say air also has got so many stratas, and then the earth also so many crustaceans. So we don't know this earth completely. Even if we're trying, even new species are being discovered. Now just imagine when we see the whole galaxy, say like a sky, we can see some galaxies through our open and naked eyes. So Andromeda in the northern side, that's about 20 million light years. 20 million light years. The speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power 10 centimeters per second, or 186,000 miles per hour per second. That much. And what will happen in a minute? What will happen in an hour? And what is the distance covered in a day and in 1 year, and then 20 million years, light years. So that is the distance that we can see through our naked eyes. And if we apply various telescopes, now we have some telescopes in the space, and through that we know a great deal, but still it is nothing. There is no end of it. You cannot go like this Anand, kind of Anand, eternal. That's your same question. And secondly, even if you go inside an atom, you can go on and on. It is only 10 to the power minus 15 or 16 we have gone up. There is no infinite number where to go. There is no end of it. And there is a video, very nice video, like in 10 to the power 1, and it starts with that. And it goes on and on. And again, it enters into an atom. And then after that, they cannot go any further. So this way also we can say it is also eternal, like kind of eternal. But whatsoever it is limited eternal. That is why, like Purusha and Prakriti, it is called eternally separate, eternal, like the two iron path of rail, two rails of a railway line. So they don't meet, they are coexisting together. So one eternal is, that's why Abhyakta. One eternal is what we say our real being. Another eternal, we cannot find even limit of this world. So that way we can say eternal. So anyway, we go to the next. Naiti Sriti Parth Janan Yogi Muhyati Karshan. So here is the point. What is the point? Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Yogi Yukto Bhavarjuna. No yogi. So here again, yogi is it in different connotation. So intelligent person here. The yogi here is intelligent seeker. Really, he who wants, though it is eternal externally or internally also, because he is not interested in it. He wants that which is ultimate. Yayatat aksharam adhigamyati sapara. So he is interested for that only. Knowing what, we can know everything. So he is interested in that. So Naite Sriti. Sriti means Gati, means two paths. Gati or path, two paths are there. Knowing this, that there are two paths. One has no return, another returns. Yogi Muhyati Karsana. Na Muhyati. They are not confused. They are totally poised, totally determined that yes, I don't want this, I want this. And therefore, Tasmat, now he tells Arjuna, O Arjuna, therefore, Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukta Bhavarjuna. Be united with me all the time. No yogi, O son of Pritha, is deluded after knowing these paths. Therefore, O Arjuna, be thou steadfast in yoga at all times. There are two words. One is continually, one is continuously. Continually means there is a break in between. But continuously means there is no break. So it should be continuous, not continual. See, at least we should know what is our goal. And then next is what we can do. If at present I am not able to do that, at least I should know what is the path. So no yogi or son of Pritha is deluded after knowing these paths. So he knows that one path will lead to highest and another will make us return. Therefore, he is not confused. Therefore, O Arjuna, be thou steadfast in yoga at all times. At all times. And that can be done if we transform our day-to-day activities into worship. Now we go to the last one. Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvam idam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chatyam. We are always, we would ask, what is the benefit of it? So if you invest money, what you do? What is the return? How many percentage? And then you also see, is it secure? Or it will be, I will lose the whole capital. So before you invest, you explore it, you try to understand what is the advantage of it. What will you gain? So Bhagavan understands our psychology. So he says that don't worry, you'll get the highest. So therefore, not a problem. Whatever meritorious effect is declared in scriptures to accrue from the study of Vedas. So Vedeshu. So some people, they study Veda, they recite, it has some fruits. So by adopting this, you will get the fruit of them also. Vedeshu, Yajneshu, and when you perform some rituals and offerings, whatever result that you get through that, whatever merit that you accrue out of it, you will get it in this, if you apply this path. And tapasu, and people do lots of penances, fasting or chandra and etc., or taking vow to eat one morsel or seeing chandra, etc. There are various paths. So this is for cleansing oneself, tapa. It is to burn, as it were, oneself. Tapa, tapa. Tapa means to get heated. You can see that when you are concentrating, you can feel the warmth. So tapa. And dana, people give donation, and that accrue also some merits. So you'll get the merits equivalent to all these if you follow this path. Atyati tat sarvam. Not only you get all the fruits, even that also you'll discard. I don't want any fruits. I go forward. Atyati tat sarvam idam viditva. Knowing this, yogi param sthanam upaiti chantya. And then the yogi who has united oneself with the self, he attains that supreme abode. Whatever meritorious effect is declared in the scriptures to accrue from the study of the Vedas, the performance of yajnas, the practice of austerities and gifts, above all this raises the yogi, having known this, and attains to the primeval supreme abode, from where there is no return. Therefore, he is trying to impress Arjuna to cultivate constant practice of the presence of God in all situations of life. So here we come to the end of this chapter, and here we find Sri Krishna has answered the question posed by Arjuna, what one should remember at the time of death. So Bhagavan said, not only at the time of death, this should be done all the time. Then only at the time of passing away, one can retain this practice. And because of this practice, one attains the highest. So this way it comes to the close of this chapter. Any question? Yeah. Yes, please.
When you were discussing the sloka 25, where it was the Krishna path, you made a comment. You were discussing that there are 7 lokas, and the lunar is one of them. You also mentioned the Chanda loka, and then you said the Brahma loka is the highest, followed by Satya. I just wondered, what are the other lokas? Can you rank them for me?
Okay, Chandra loka is lower.
What number would it be?
Okay, first that 7 we have like 14 bhuvan, Chaturdash bhuvan. Those bhur, bhuva, swa, maha, jana, tapa, satya. Satya loka is also called Brahma loka.
Oh, okay.
And lower, tala, atala, patala, sutala, vitala, talatala. So these 7. So here, though Chandraloka is not mentioned, but here to show that it is lower, it is returnable. You see, there are so many things, one may get confused. That is why we take that much which will guide us and not to get confused. Chandaloka and this loka, that loka, and lots of things are there.
The question from Akshay, it says,
Yeah,
Pranam,
who-
Akshay. Yeah, Pranam Maharaj. It says that if one goes to Vaikuntha or Kailash, does he return from that?
Yeah. So Vaikuntha Kailash, they are also, you see, this very nice question. Very nice question. You see, bhaktas, they want that. There is Sayujya, Sarupya, Salokya, Shashti, and another is there. So these are various mukti. Sayujya means joining with the divine abode and proximity to divine. So that means whatever you say, the devotees like it. That's good. We don't discard, as I said, that even we don't discard the devils or even modern day ISIS, etc. We don't discard anyone. What, it depends on the person. But ultimately, you can say, because it is a loka, you can locate, that means it is limited. That means one day we have to depart from there. So after the fruit of your good action is exhausted, Shine Punne Martalokam Vishanti. So after exhausting your good karma, you are to return. Though, say you can see from another way. So you are in Brahmaloka. Now just imagine that everything here is Brahma. So we can say you are in Brahmaloka. If you are interacting with everything as Brahman, so it is for word's sake that we say it is Brahmaloka. But you have attained. But if you have limitation, oh, my Brahmaloka is like, it's a particular, I hate others, then it is not a Brahmaloka. So it depends on the person or on the devotees, how he looks. So we say we will go to Ramakrishna Loka. So we have to think this way, that Ramakrishna is everywhere. He is pervading everything. That's yeah. Yasyanta sthani bhutani ena sarvamidam tatam. God is not sitting somewhere else. God is within us. We are to realize that we are not separate from Him. If you can realize this, there is no coming and going. Whether you can say Shiva Loka or Vishnu Loka or Vaikuntha or Ramakrishna Loka. If you think that that is the highest reality, then ihaiva bhavati. Then you are here. There is no coming and going. But if you interpret or think that it is somewhere you have to go, then you have to return from that somewhere. So it totally depends on you, how you look at it. Say, a scientist, they say that everything is made up of energy, but they don't realize it. They fight among themselves. Even Nobel Prize winner. So they don't preach they don't practice what they preach. If everything is energy, what is the difference? Why one should fight? Fighting means hating someone. If someone hates something and loves something, that means he's limited. That means he has to outgrow that situation. But if someone, though he is here, very much here, but he knows that he has attained his self, there is no return for him. You may call it Shiva Loka, Vishnu Loka, Vaikuntha Loka, or Ramakrishna Loka. So it depends on the person. Very good question.
Pranam Maharaj,
Namaskar.
I have a question. So if Thakur is everywhere, Ramakrishna is everywhere, then what is this Tala, Atala, Tala, Tala, all
Okay,
those?
very good question. Also. This is the problem. And this is the problem, a very, very deep-rooted problem. You know, whatever we say, logical. You cannot deny it. We understand. But what happens when we come to practice, then comes all the difficulties. So, we say, yes, Ramakrishna is everywhere, God is everywhere, Brahman is everywhere. But when we practice, we come to practical level and we don't practice it. For them, there is Atal, Vital, Sutal, and Bhur, Bhuvasva, Mahatapa, Janasattva, and etc. etc. But those who can practice this, for them there is nothing. They are already attained. There is nothing more to add. You are already there. But those who do not practice, that's why Shravana, first we have to hear, Manana, we have to cogitate, head bare, without any let and hindrance, without any doubt. You have to cogitate in such a way that no doubt can stay with you. And then you have to be and become. It is like this. Water and sugar. You want to make a sugar syrup. You add little sugar. You go on adding. You cannot add any more. Then you heat it. You can add little more. You go on adding and saturation point will come. Then you keep that syrup and put a crystal there. It will be crystallized. So whatever we hear, that is to be practiced in such a way that these thoughts crystallizes and we become it. It is being and becoming. It's not theory. So all those are Atal, Vital, Sutal, etc. and Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, etc. These are for those who are trying. You can say, we are also children, but these are for children.
Swami,
Yeah.
right when you were talking about contemplation, agitation, hearing Shavana, Mana, and Nidihashana, on either side of that phrase, and we were talking, you had a list of like 4 words, and I did not know what any of them meant.
Which one?
I can't even tell you because I've never heard them before. They were in Sanskrit or something. Bhuvana, something.
Oh, 14 Bhuvanas.
Well, I don't even know what it was.
Bhuvan means spheres. 14 Bhuvanas. Chaturdash Bhuvana. 14 spheres. See, like we have this sphere, then Surya Loka, Chandra Loka. So you can say sphere of light, sphere of half light, half darkness. Like this. But all these are dualistic ideas. We don't discard again. Dualistics are very good. Even Bhagavan did not discard, even those Artha, Jigyasa, or Arthati. Though he said, Jnani Tvatmaiva me matam. Though Jnani is my heart, but all are good people. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukriti no arjuna. Those who have good traits, they worship me. There are 4 kinds. So Bhagavan also did not discard. Because everybody should have a chance. See, you cannot open a school only for PhD scholars. It should be from the first grade. and gradually they'll come to that point when they will graduate from that state. So all these are there in our Shastras for various aspirants, seekers.
One more question.
Yeah.
So math and then questions. Verses 8:24 and 8:25 is at the
Mhm.
Dhumra and
Yeah,
fire. If our development is based on our devotion and focus, and if it's not about what time we die, then why does it say these verses?
Okay, why is it this thing? Again, why, like when you are in small classes, so teacher will tell, this is earth, and this is moon goes round and round and round and round. Earth is stable. Okay. If you go after that, then the second, say, when you are, say, eighth grade, then teacher will tell, you have correctly heard, but actually that's not the case. Earth is not stable. It also goes round and round, surrounding the sun, but sun is stable. And along with earth, the moon also moves around. Then you go a little further, then another teacher comes and tells, yes, what you have heard is right, but that's not the case. Then you know a little more. Okay. Now you have, most of the people have a concept that sun is stable and earth is moving around, and the sun is also moon is moving around the earth. But this is like a linear, but it's not linear. It's called vortex, because sun is also moving around a bigger sun. So it is like vortex means like when you put water in your sink and open the sink, then it goes round and round. So sun is moving like this, and along with it, all the planets and other bodies surrounding the family of the sun moves around. So it is a vortex, it's not linear. And then you can ask why it was then Miss told me that earth is stable. Because we don't understand if we give everything in one go. Children, they cannot digest everything. So first mother will give a little sip of milk, then little more, then some rice, and gradually then you can eat you go to Subway or something. So it is the way. Why it is said? It is said for some people are interested in it. In a shop, you have many things. If you go to a mall, you can see thousands of varieties. Why they have said keep those varieties? It is your freedom. You choose among them. I'm totally confused when I go there. So I find a lady, who knows almost everything. So I ask, which one is better? Can you tell me? And immediately she's also very happy. Oh, then sorry, take this one. So why they keep so many varieties in a mall? It's for you to choose. If there is no, then you'll complain. Why it is not? Only one thing is kept. If you go to Costco, you'll find only one or two things. You have to select among them. So they select on our behalf. So we are happy. Okay, fine. That we need not select the whole world and find what is good or bad. Right? Thank you very much for your nice questions. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tatsat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Yes, please go.
Thank you, Swami. Namaste.
The sun shines now, Lord the moon. Time it is not true and leaves you soon alone. Hold on, hold on to him and his name. They're both the same. They're both the same. Melting all away, the secret magic lies. Pure and holy name transforms the tragic lives. Hold on, hold on to him and his name. They're both the same. They're both the same. They're both the same. They're both the same. And just like you, I want to see his face. And just like you, I long to feel his grace. And just like you, I can see we are one family. We are waiting and praying for his love to shine on us. Hold on, hold on to him and his name. They're both the same. 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 Thank you. Only one thing. What is the next here? I'll be traveling out, so next class will miss. After that, we'll meet again. And on 12th and 13th November, we'll have retreat here. Please register for that. And Halloween is around the corner, so welcome Halloween. Thank you.